think I love this message already. Don't know how it's possible, but the energy that I was just sitting in as I was like waiting for it to come to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, life is just, it's so beautiful. And we make it so complicated, but that's part of this realm. And this realm has so many layers of illusion, so many layers of deception, of what is the right word? Like distortion of truth. And we go on this journey of forgetting. We agreed to go on this journey of forgetting. And really our only purpose, I think, well, it's like a combination of things. I think our main purpose is to go on the journey of remembering and remembering the truth of who we are. And we do that by following the joy and following the curiosity. And we open the door to miracles by feeling gratitude now, being present now. And so when this video finds you, this might be and probably is just a reminder. You know all of this, like you know all these words, and we're all connected, we're all one, we're all of the infinite, one infinite consciousness. But we get a little lost sometimes. We get a little lost sometimes in the distortion, in the illusion, that we like pile on so much information and like so many different tools and different ways of manifesting and creating and growing and healing and expanding and all this stuff and you know, achieving. And today I think we're here to bring it back to the simplicity of what you really have to focus on. And so for me, it's like sometimes I get so many downloads because I'm very tapped into, I guess, my psychic abilities, but I get them left and right and left and right. And then I get a business idea, and then I get a health idea, and then I get a channel, and then I get a ping from somebody I'm connected to. And then like, you know, it's so much all the time in every direction. And then I'm like, well, I have to do so much, I have to be so much, I have to blah, blah, blah. And then my monkey brain, right? And so then whenever I get into regulation, which I practice every day, doing brain retraining, especially being here in this house in Portugal, at first I was a bit shocked because it's like, I've just found that these houses here are quite moldy. I almost left this house. A lot of you guys watched me work through that, but I almost left this house and was looking at other ones as soon as I got here. And then I realized the divine guidance was to stay, and it's not a problem anymore. But what I've really been focusing on is brain retraining extra to go deeper, because my health journey was around mold and Lyme disease, but like really around mold. I couldn't leave my house for a while because I was that sensitive. So brain retraining. And so as I do brain retraining regulation, so 21 days to regulate, or which is called Healed, my program Healed, that is specifically for chronic illness if you're looking to learn how to brain retrain. I also have 21 days to rewire your mind if you want to rewire your mind and you don't necessarily have a chronic illness, but you want to do brain retraining that way. And then I also have, you guys know I talk about it all the time, but it's like my pride and joy. I love it so much. It's so effective. Dream life sleep hypnosis, using the frequency of your own voice to program in your dream life and unravel the subconscious blocks while you are sleeping. Literally start a whole new timeline. Like Portugal was not on my radar. It was not on my radar. But what happened was I found myself in the chaos. I found my center in the chaos. When I was in Ireland, when I was living in the hay barn, when I was in the void, I started doing dream life sleep hypnosis. I unraveled the blocks I didn't realize were there, the two beliefs that I had about having to play small in order to be loved and also having to watch other people live my dream life. As soon as that happened, all these doors just started flying open. And then, you know, I manifested a house here, which is just like, I love this house. At first I was afraid of it, but then I moved through that belief too, around fear of homes and whatnot. And then it's like, now whenever I practice mindfulness and I practice regulation and I find my center again, I realize like I don't have so much to do. My brain will tell me I have to save the world. Like my astrology makeup, I don't know which placements it is, but an astrologer had said this to me recently, but I also knew this. I have this deep feeling of like needing to save the world. And I don't know what that is. And I don't know how I would do that. And I don't actually put the pressure on myself to do that, but it's in the background. And so, you know, that might be relevant for someone. It's like you just feel like you have to do so much and that you're not doing enough and that you're behind, but you're not. You're not behind at all. You're right on time. You're in the exact place that you're meant to be. And you have been manifesting things for so long, right? You planted seeds a long, long time ago that are about to come to fruition that maybe you forgot about, maybe you lost attachment to. And as soon as you lose attachment to it, like we talked about in my last video, it's when all the miracles start pouring in. And the biggest way to open the door for the miracles is gratitude. It's gratitude for what you have right now. Because when you have and I just keep doing this, I think it's important to do this, but it's like maybe moving energy. But when you have gratitude for what is here right now, it releases that attachment. It releases that resistance to the manifestations and to the seeds that you've been planting. And so you have gratitude for what you have right now. It brings you to the present moment. The present moment is the baseline for your dopamine cycle, your reward cycle, your making things happen cycle. And so coming back to the present moment allows us to have this healthy balance of an experience here on earth of what we are doing and what we are achieving and what we are calling in. There's really like very few things that are more important than coming back to your center and coming back to the present moment and feeling gratitude now. You are the point of attraction. You know this. You are the point of attraction of your reality. You are creating your reality. Your reality is a mirror of your energy, of your focus, of your field right now. And so even if it's as simple as listening to the birds chirping in the morning, or like just feeling the heat of the shower, like the wonderful sensation of a hot shower. And I'm saying that because my battery's about to die, because I was just, in van life for so long, living in a hay barn. And so having a hot shower consistently, so simple, but every time I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm gonna change this. Okay. I think we're good now. But so I have all this gratitude in my heart right now, but also it's like when I was living in Ireland in the hay barn in my broken down van and just like so in the void, so it was such an interesting time, and it's a month now I've been here in Portugal and I'm still processing that whole experience. When I was in Ireland, it was like I would go down this one path of like, we're gonna fix the van. All the mechanics are like, yes, 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 yes. And then I would finally get to the place. I would tow my van again, get it to the next mechanic, and the next person would be like, yes, I can do it. They either ghost me, and the mechanic's like, actually, it's not this, it's that. And so it was just so much of that. And then I went down the path of like trying to buy a car, and then I finally find the car, and then the car just doesn't work out because I didn't have any history of driving in Ireland, and they wouldn't insure the car, and blah, blah, blah. Ireland wouldn't insure it, no one in Ireland would. And so it was just like so many different things, and essentially it was just holding me there. And in that, I felt fine. Like I was fine. Like I had, people, it's a different topic, but someone recently who was like, oh, that must have been like really difficult for you in Ireland. And I realized that like that you were really struggling there. And I was just like, no, I wasn't. Like I felt, and sorry, there's like, it's really windy. And so there's something, I don't know if it's a shutter or something, but it's shuddering. And so I was just like, no, actually I didn't have that hard of a time. Of course there was challenges and it was a bit frustrating, but I felt a lot of gratitude. Like I loved, and even still I kind of look back on my time and sometimes I miss certain parts of it. I don't want to go back, but I do miss like frolicking through the fields of my family land. Like no one was there. It was like such a sacred time with my dogs and with Duchess. And like I just was in my own energy for like the first time ever for a few months. Like that, I don't think many people get that kind of experience. And I had all my needs met. Like I had the family friends who would come and pick me up once a week and take me to the grocery store. And like, it was enough. It allowed me time to really regulate and really figure out, you know, get that download of Dream Life Sleep Hypnosis, which is now being created into Nove, which is like this beautiful app that is just like unfolding in front of me as I'm designing it. And so it's like, that was just such a perfect time. Had I been in that situation and not filled with like gratitude for my long walks in the fields and like being in my family castle, which is like a ruin that has been in our family for centuries, and like just feeling the magic of my ancestors and like focusing on the wonderful parts of it, had I been more dysregulated and fearful, because like all my family, like my older family who live in the city, they would be like, you're gonna get murdered there, you're gonna get like, I don't even want to say the word, but like they were just they were trying out of love to put so much fear in me about sleeping there by myself, and you know, about people doing drugs around the neighborhood and whatnot. And I just chose not to feel that fear. And I realized like there isn't anything to fear. And I remembered how powerful we are as individuals and how powerful we are by setting our intention and saying we're protected and guided, and like truly believing that, and the power of gratitude. And so I was so grateful for my evenings in the van with Aslan and Duchess and Arlo. We're all so cozy in there, and like, you know, making my dinners and listening to different YouTube videos that inspired me or helped me like provoke thought. And like, it was just sacred. And so everyone else like has their own experience of me having that experience and their own projections, but you don't have to tell people that you're okay. You don't have to tell people that you're full of love. You don't have to what are the words for this? It's like, you can be okay. You can be okay even if your circumstances don't look like the dream life that you're manifesting. You can be in so much gratitude and so much abundance and so much ease and so much patience and so much like release of attachment, even when the world's freaking out around you, even when there's chaos around you, even when people are denying or if they're not believing in you. What is the word? Yeah, it's like if they're not believing in you, there's a word for it. But if they're not believing in you and your power and your mission and your vision and like where you're gonna go and what you're gonna do, and like, but you are, that's all that matters. Because what happens after that is wild. It's absolutely wild. Like I'm a really big view person, and like I'm looking here at the canyon and houses, and I'm looking here at this beautiful ocean view, and every window has a view of the ocean or the canyon, and it's just gorgeous. And like, it's everything that I ever needed. It's like that energy of abundance, and it's the seed that I had planted a long time ago. This is a seed that I had planted a long time ago, and then I kind of forgot about. And so those seeds that you've been planting, they will emerge when you find that centeredness in the chaos. When you find that peace and that gratitude and that presence, that is when your garden starts to bloom. And it just gets better and better and better and better. And so if you can be grateful right now, and if you can find the joy right now, you can find the curiosity right now. My curiosity, so I had all the joy, the gratitude while living in the hay barn. My curiosity led me down the path of hypnosis, and then it led me down the path of like, what if I started listening to my own voice in hypnosis? And then I was like, well, what if I started listening to my own voice in hypnosis while I slept? Because that's when I'm in delta wave, and that's when I'm, you know, my brain is most malleable. And so my curiosity was like, boom, 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 boom. And then as soon as I did it, literally the next day, my whole appearance changed. My energy changed. My videos started going viral. I got 50,000 new followers, like across platforms, and within like a month, I had my first million in a video. Like my energy just went like expanded because I was in the gratitude, I was in the joy, and I was following the curiosity. And I've been saying this since I started this channel 2 years ago. Your breadcrumbs are your joy and your curiosity. Gratitude opens the door. Be on that path. You don't have to explain it to anybody. You really don't. And you also, like, I think it's important to say you don't have to, how do I say this? You don't have to explain yourself to anybody. I think it's like, as you start to expand, and you start to see your manifestations come to fruition and to light and into your perceived reality, the people around you are going to have such an experience with that. And none of that is your responsibility to cater to. You might have friends who are celebrating you. You might have friends who are really, become jealous of you. And like, that's their own thing to work through. You might have family members who have always looked at you a certain way and wanted you to fit into this certain box. And now that you're obviously stepping out of that box, they like have this whole thing with it. And so they try and latch on to something else that like brings you down and puts you back into their box, because the mind, the subconscious, our nervous system, the subconscious, it wants safety. It wants familiarness. Like, it wants familiarity. It wants to like keep things familiar. And so when those around us, especially our family members, if we're not aware, start expanding, it starts to unconsciously feel unsafe. And so they want to put you back into the box because that's what feels safe and familiar to them, and familiar, in a way they think that they're keeping you safe by keeping you grounded and keeping you the way that you were. You weren't born to fit in boxes. You were born to remember that you can expand out of the box. You were born to remember the truth of who you are. You came here to Earth to go on this journey of forgetting and remembering. And you do that by following the joy, following the curiosity, and staying in gratitude and staying present. And that will lead you to everywhere that you're meant to go. I don't think that purpose is something that we find. It's something that we see in hindsight. And so stop trying to figure it all out. You do not have to figure it all out. You do not have to know when the seeds will bloom. They will. Trust that you are a powerful, infinite being, and that you can have anything that you desire, because there are infinite timelines and infinite possibilities within the quantum field. Your free will is what allows you to choose and select from the infinite possibilities and plant those seeds. And you tend to the garden by taking care of yourself, filling yourself with love, filling yourself with light, following the joy, following the curiosity, and staying in gratitude. Easy peasy. I knew I would love that message. I knew I would love it, and I do love it. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, what experience you had with that message. If you want to leave a comment, if you don't know what to say, you can go ahead and leave a wolf. We love wolves here. Speaking of wolves, I don't know how to say this. I miss the farm in Italy. And they've been moving through a lot of stuff recently. Animal rescue is like no joke. Animal sanctuary is no joke. Also, if you know of a horse rescue or sanctuary in Europe that is preferably somewhat close or in Bulgaria, it doesn't have to be super close. Like, they were reaching out to us from Bulgaria, and they wanted to come to have 2 of their horses go to the farm in Italy, but the farm's full and we can't have any more horses. And so if you know of any rescues or sanctuaries that could take on 2 horses, somewhat special needs, then let me know in the comments, or you can DM me on Instagram, Araya Menti. Yeah, so I miss the farm. I do love the farm. I think I've been trying to figure out like my relationship, like in my future and everything, with the farm right now. And what I've been talking with the owner about is that I don't know that I will ever go live on the farm again because of many reasons. But I really am feeling like this is the next chapter of my life, is being in a house, having my space, having my privacy, but I still want to support the farm, and I'm really excited to support the farm. I just put on Instagram like a few days ago that I would possibly do a meet and greet in Italy. A few of you guys have, I think, commented on here or DM me somewhere. I've received messages over the span of the last 2 years, or last year, about having a meet and greet in Italy, on the farm or in Italy. And I would definitely do that. I think right now what I'm leaning towards is I don't know that I have the space to put on another retreat. I had to cancel my retreat, which was like super sad, but it was like not gonna work out because I had to be in Ireland. I was in Ireland, and a lot of family stuff going on. And so I would like to do like something where it's like a meet and greet, like one day we meet on the farm. I introduce everybody to the animals, show you guys Ladybug, Zima, Indy, all the animals, and the land, and then maybe like a picnic, possibly like a group ride. If anybody wants to get a ride, like that money would go to the sanctuary. The whole experience, like the meet and greet, there would be no cost to it, but I would recommend different B&Bs that are local, so you could stay in the B&B. There's a few different ones. One is like a retreat in itself, if you get the spa pass too, and like the prices are just incredible because it's Italy and it's not like a major city. So if you'd be interested in that, let me know in the comments if that's something that would call to you, is to meet in Italy at some point. I don't know exactly when. I think like I'm just kind of getting interest right now. There were quite a few people on Instagram who said yes, they would definitely be down, but I just never know if it's like, yeah, I'm down, but then when it comes time to like actually planning it, I would just hate to plan the meet and greet and then I'm like, and no one shows up. But either way, I would still be on the farm and I would just go on a ride. And so, yeah, I think that right now what I'm leaning towards is like half the year being in Italy and half the year being in Portugal. And then maybe eventually like a base in California or Florida, in the US somewhere. So that's kind of like where I'm seeing the future, but I'm also just sitting with it every single day and seeing, you know, the joy and the curiosity and what comes up, and staying in gratitude and waiting for that, like that true pull of where to go next. But yeah, I look at like Italian villas almost every day and just different areas of where I would get a house. And that's really exciting to me. I do love the culture here in Portugal. I love it. I love the expat culture. I love all the healthy food. I love all the yoga. And I really missed that in Italy, but I also love the Italian culture. I love the slowness. I love learning the language. I love, you know, being just around like the passion of Italians, and the food and the music, and just the villages there are there's so much culture to it. So yeah, I think that would be a really fun balance. So we'll see. That's kind of like a little sneak peek on like what's in my brain right now. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys are interested. If you have any thoughts, if you want to leave a comment, I will see you in there. If you want to join Dream Life Sleep Hypnosis or any of my other programs, they are linked in the description. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.